Welcome, dear friends, to the Taviren, a Wheel of Time podcast hosted by three gentlemen for whom the very wheel itself bends around. Without further ado, here are your hosts, Bill, Rob, and Rich.
Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to yet another episode of the Taviren podcast, the podcast where three men talk about the Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although today it's only two men.
Yep.
I like to say the two real men. Sorry, Rob.
Manly men.
Yeah, menly men. Oh my God, 2.5 men. Is that the Wheel of Time in the future?
Basically.
Yeah. So Charlie Sheen's Rand, right?
Yeah, no, Charlie Sheen's the diseased walking guy.
Padding fame.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yes, hello and welcome to the Wheel of Time place. Welcome to the pattern, people. That's what we should say. That's a nice opening, Rich. Welcome to the pattern. And yes, today we are here to discuss the wonderful chapters 22.
23.
Oh, 23, sorry. We doubled up last week, didn't we?
Yes. I know
Sorry.
you're so confused.
Oh, I know. My life the last 3 or 4 days has just been like an IT pit of nightmare. I handle this stuff quite well because I do work in IT, so I'm used to things going wrong and having to fix it for other people. But the problem is, because that's my day job, when it happens to me, I still have to help other people while trying to fix myself.
Yeah.
But the other people tend to take priority, so all my stuff just takes forever to fix. And last week was the worst. I woke up an hour after my alarm should have gone off, Rich. My phone was just dead.
Dang.
That was it. It had just died. So it was an iPhone as well. That doesn't happen often with iPhones.
No.
And like I say, I've managed enough iPhones through work over the years, and yeah, just dead as a doornail. I took it to a repair shop, said, "Can you try a new battery or a new charge port just to see if it's died?" And nope, the motherboard was completely dead. So yeah, it's amazing how attached you get to phones because my life is just in tatters. A lot of my notes and everything I save on my phone. Again, like I said to you 5 minutes ago, I listened to the audiobook, and so when I sat down on the train this morning to listen to re-listen to the chapter, so it was fresh in my mind. It was just like, hey, you don't have this book downloaded. It's like, and of course, I can't download that off of Wi-Fi when I'm not on Wi-Fi because it's like bloody 6 gigs worth of data, and it will just be like, well, that's your data for the month. So I had to wait to get to work. Oh yeah, it's just. Oh, sorry, I hate to be negative about stuff, but yeah, my life has been an absolute pain in the arse last week. Have you been having a better time, Rich?
Yeah.
How's the wheel been weaving for you?
Wheel's been great. Haven't really had much going on, so just here.
Just
not as
here,
many problems as you, apparently.
doing stuff. Have you still got your competition coming up?
No, that got canceled, but I'm still training.
Ah, good. Yes, Rich trains for things.
Yes.
He's a good boy.
When I'm not playing video games, I'm at the gym.
Yeah, this is why we designated Rich to be the pairing of the group, because pairing's well built, and I think Rich is well on his way to being very well built. All that powerlifting.
Yeah.
But yes, today we are going to discuss a chapter that is not particularly long, but I really like this chapter.
Some stuff happens.
Yeah, it's called Wolfbrother. But now, I finally signed us up, Rich, for one of those things that tells you if you get reviews. And so we've not had any new reviews. But I think first we normally do Wheel of Time news, don't we?
No, I don't think so. Oh no, they casted Lan.
Yes, they casted Lan, and I think everybody knew that it was going to be this guy. But yes, Lan got casted, and today is Tuesday, so we'll probably get another decent casting tomorrow. I mean, who else do we need to be casted to get this going?
Well, you need some white cloaks to be casted. You need
Well, no, we need a lot of Emmons Fielders, I think.
Yeah, you need Tom.
Tom, that's it. I was trying to think of the last big one. Tom
The
and
big one's
Tam.
Tom.
Tom and Tam.
Yep.
Yeah, we need Tam in there as well. And I can never remember his name. I know Matt's dad pops up a few times, but that could be a minor actor.
Oh, that's
No, Matt's dad.
Huh?
Matt's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he pops up a couple of times during the books. But yes, we had the announcement that Daniel Haney is going to be Alan Mandragon from in the new Wheel of Time series, and I believe this bloke's mostly famous for some sort of detective thing. Is that right?
I think so.
I'm not sure what else he's been in. I can't remember what it was called now. Oh, how annoying. Let me have a look. You're supposed to know this stuff, Rich.
I don't know anything.
You're a TV guru.
Yeah, sometimes.
No, of course not. This is Rob's job. And as you all have noticed, Rob's not here.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's got people sleeping in his room where he records. So he was in X-Men's Origin, Wolverine. I don't know what he was in that. He was in Big Hero 6 as well. But he's most famous for Hawaii Five-0 and Criminal Minds. That's what I was trying to think of. He's in the Criminal Minds series. But yes, he's very Asian looking. Don't know how else to describe it. He's an Asian looking dude. He looks pretty big, broad shoulders as well. He's 6'2". So I kind of thought he'd be taller, but who cares? They can do amazing things with camera angles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's going to make a really good Lan. I need to do more research on these actors because I'm so excited about this. And yeah, I just love the look of Matt. He looks great. Cool. Okay, so yeah, that was the Wheel of Time news, and then I'm sure we'll get another big announcement tomorrow or today if you're listening to this.
Yeah.
Yep. So other than that, we don't have any new reviews. So guys, come on, rate and review us on any podcasting applications that you have, because it really helps grow the show. Oh, I feel so lost without Rob today, Rich.
I know. I don't know what to do.
I know. I just feel like I need him to guide me on this journey. Okay. No, other than that, not a lot of news going on in the world as far as I know. And let's face it, I don't know much. And by the sounds of it, Rich knows even less.
I like it. I don't know anything.
It's all right now. My head's in Final Fantasy VIII at the moment. I'm in the wrong place. Anyway, let's get back to the pattern. And let's get over to our chapter, which is chapter 23, Wolfbrother.
Oh my god.
Where's your howl, Rich?
I don't have a howl.
You can't howl?
No, I can't.
So we open up and we have Perrin and Egwene. And it's all kind of set from Perrin's point of view now. I feel like we should mention that at the beginning of chapters. Because this is where Robert starts to switch a lot between different points of views. So need to keep an eye on it. But yes, we are currently looking from Perrin's eyes. And him and Egwene are basically beginning their journey on towards Camelin. And
they're walking.
Yeah, they are walking. They're actually arguing over who gets to walk.
Because they have a horse, don't they?
Yeah, Bella. The a horse, Rich. Come on.
Sorry.
This is Bella. This is Bella. She's the creator, man. Anyway, that's just a crazy fan theory. That is not fact, and that is not spoiled. But yes, they've got Bella, the one horse that they've got left, and they are making their way to Camelin, and they're arguing over who gets to ride it. Because Perrin's trying to be the good bloke, saying, "Yeah, go on, you can ride her, Egwene." And she's like, "Look, I'm an Emmonsfielder. I'm tough. I don't want you to get footsore and we have to look after you later on. So we can take it in turns, all right?" And so they do.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's the correct thing to do, and it's just Perrin's trying to be too chivalrous at the moment. It's just like, yeah, you both got a fucking long way to go. Just take it in turns. Be thankful that she is an Emmonsfielder and she is capable of walking a good couple hundred miles off road.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if she wasn't, man, this would be a tough journey.
Right.
And yet, so Perrin wanders off a little bit, and he's very excited because he manages to catch a rabbit, only just. But Perrin, being the nice, sensible, calm person that he is very much aware that catching a rabbit's probably going to be a bit of a rare find. So Egwene's the one who actually does all the. She actually, breaks, creates. She's broken up a load of leaves and is trying to set fire to it. And this is the funny bit, because she's trying to do it with the one power, and it creeps Perrin the fuck out.
Dang.
But yes, and he's just like, what? It's like, what are you doing? And he's just like, oh, you're trying to use the one power? That's really scummy.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that, man. I don't want that around me. And she's just like, he's like, where's your flint? She's like, well, it fell out of my pocket when we fell into the river. And he's like, how did you make the other fire? And she's like, well, how the fuck do you think, you stupid asshole?
Like, I did it.
I did it with the one power, but now that you're watching me, I can't bloody do it. Yeah, so but you know, she tries to create the fire, and occasionally, you know, she makes a little bit of trickle of smoke. Do they get the fire going?
Do they what?
Do they actually get the fire going?
I think so. No, they don't.
No.
Because that is when they start seeing things. They find a
what they trip out on Bad Rabbit.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought they did. I thought they did get this one going because the rabbit was their last hot meal, wasn't
I think so. Hold on, see, apparently, like, our brain's not working today.
it? Like I said, I lost all my notes.
Yeah.
So
No,
I'm
no,
trying
they
my
don't. They don't get it going. I'm thinking real hard here. But they don't get it. So they only just make like smoke. They don't get it like fully engulfed in flames and stuff. But they do make smoke and everything. So they were able to eat rabbit. You know, they were able to heat it, but not much of it. So
yeah, so basically, yeah, Perrin was right though. It was kind of the rabbit was the last decent meal they were going to have for a while, and
that's right.
They kind of the rest of the time they're just eating like wild vegetables. I did notice the bit as well where he says like, we got these really great mushrooms, but they didn't last long enough. I was like, all right, Perrin.
They're probably high.
Yeah, Perrin's got a nice high off the mushrooms, but they didn't last long enough. He was tripping balls.
That's right.
It's like, oh my god, Kevin. Kevin, come have some of these mushrooms. They're great. And yeah, they also get really freaked out. So as they're traveling along, you know, the landscape starts to change. It's kind of like quite flat, low land at the moment, but it starts to change into rather thickly forested hills. They made the decision to try and go to Camelin like off-road and sort of hope to sort of navigate back down towards the Arendelle a little bit later. Just to sort of, you know, go the long way around to try and avoid Trollocs and everything.
Yeah.
But they start to worry a little bit, especially when they see they walk past some old abandoned ruins, and it reminds them of their time in Shadow Logarth. And also the whole time, every time Perrin goes to sleep, Beelzemon's infecting his dreams, and he thinks Beelzemon's chasing him all the time. And so Perrin starts to worry, you know, maybe this wasn't the right choice. Maybe it would have been better to face the Trollocs than die wandering around the woods forever.
Yeah, just going in circles.
Yes. But, and this is where they suddenly they come across some smoke. They can smell it in the air, and they can smell cooking.
Oh, something smells good.
Oh, they can smell some nice roasting rabbit, and it smells really nice. Oh, yes. So, Egwene gets really excited, thinking, oh my god, there's someone here. They've got food. Brilliant. And Perrin, you know, again, he's being the sensible one. You know, he's being a bit of a negative Nancy. But he's the one who's just like, hey, we don't know who it is yet.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't run up there.
In fairness, giving some stuff that happens later on, like he's probably right. But
True.
yes, there is a man sitting around a fire with several rabbits on skewers, just cooking nicely. And he's all dressed in like animal furs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. He looked like a crazy homeless man.
Yeah, he does. That's exactly how I picture him. Crazy homeless man. But yeah, he's kind of dressed in like animal skins. And they mention the fact like the hair is still attached to a lot of the skin. So he hasn't like made it nicely, as it were.
Yeah.
He's got like graying hair, which is like down to his waist. And yeah, he just looks like a very dirty homeless man with a thick beard, armed with a knife, long enough to be a sword, as they say. But yeah, he's cooking a bunch of rabbits over the fire, and he offers to feed Perrin and Egwene. And I think at this point, hunger takes over, and they just sit down and tuck in.
Like, yeah, screw it, I don't care.
But yeah, he kind of takes the piss out of them, saying like, well, come on, you guys have got to eat because I don't know where you're going. And they mention, oh yeah, we're going to Camelin. He's like, you're not going to Camelin. You've been going the wrong direction for the last 2 days. And they're like, you've been following us for 2 days?
He's like, yeah, basically.
Yeah. You fucks have been wandering around my woods. Of course I've been following you for 2 days. I want to make sure you're fine. And he basically says, yeah, at this rate, you're going to end up hitting the spine of the world before you hit Camelin. And I don't know if you've seen
the wrong direction too, aren't they?
I think they're kind of going the wrong direction, but they keep going like east, but northly.
Yeah.
Whereas they want to be going southeasterly to hit Camelin, but they're kind of they're going east and north. Oh yeah, because I think he says you're gonna pass 100 miles north of Camelin, and that's when you might hit the spine of the world first. And the spine of the world is basically what most people consider the end of the world. There's a huge desert on the other side of the spine when there's a couple of places you can pass into that desert. But it's known as like the Isle Waste, and that's where the Isle live. And no one ever goes there because it's just a shithole. Also, we believe. But yes, he informs them they're not going to hit any cities, basically. And Perrin's disturbed by this. And, he sits there thinking, oh, I've got to eat with this crazy man.
Yeah.
This man may be crazy and homeless, but I'm going to eat with him.
They're probably still high.
Yeah, probably high in the mushrooms. I don't think the man's called Eyeless, by the way. Elas? Yeah, Eyeless. Eyeless. I think that's how they pronounced it in the audiobook. Like I said, I was vaguely listening to it after I got to work and downloaded it. I've been doing my work while listening to today's chapter. So I could only pay a certain amount of attention. I feel really bad for the listeners.
Nah, you're good.
I haven't done my usual level of input. But which is a shame because I really like this chapter. I really like Eyeless because it's after a while that he introduces the wolves. Eyeless has a bunch of wolves who are his friends, and they come and sit with him, which freaks Bella out. And Eyeless is like, look, come on, calm your horse down. And I think this is the moment where Perrin then notices, like, holy shit, this guy's got golden eyes. Like,
that's weird.
Bright golden eyes. So it's just like, suddenly there's wolves. The man's got golden eyes, and and Perrin, so it's only 4 of the wolves come and sit with them, but Perrin can actually see more of them sitting outside of the area where they can see them. So they quiet Bella down, and she starts to ignore the wolves because the wolves are ignoring her. And Egwene accuses them of being tame wolves, at which point Eyeless goes, they're not tame, they're my mates. This is Dave, this is Steve.
Yeah, he has names for all of them.
Yeah, he has names for all of them. No, turns out Eyeless can actually talk to wolves. And he says it's been a very, very long time since the wolves were able to run with a man before Eyeless came along, which is very strange. And Perrin's just convinced that the bloke's an absolute madman. Yeah,
they found a homeless guy, and this guy's talking like nonsense. And
the homeless guy's got pet wolves, and he says he can talk to them. It's like, yeah, he's a nutter, but he has got fresh rabbit, Rich.
I know. I was like, well, he's got food, so I mean, I might as well just be around him.
Yeah, I'll put up this for a minute. I may get raped by a wolf in the night, but
yep. He's like, when they get that look in their eye, we better get out of here.
But yes, they start to tell Eyeless their made-up story, or Egwene starts to tell them it, saying that they've come down from Saldea, and Eyeless immediately says, "Let's stop lying to me, love. I can tell when you're lying. You have to tell me the truth." Perrin reaches for his axe, which pisses the wolves off. And Eyeless like, no, come on, just don't lie to me. And it's at this point that Perrin's like, all right, I don't want to piss this guy off. He's got wolf eyes.
Yeah, and my face ripped off.
Yeah, and he's got all these wolves sitting around. I'm going to get my throat ripped out any second. Perrin looks at Egwene, and Egwene looks at Perrin, and they decide, with a look, that they'll just tell the tale as it was back from in Emmons Field when Matt saw the man with the black coat. Dum dum dum. So they tell him the whole story. And how they hope to rejoin with Moraine later on, and now they were going to continue on to Tarvalon.
Tarvalon.
Tarvalon? Tarvalon?
Tarvalon.
Tarvalon.
No, it's Tarvalon.
Tarvalon. Whatever. I can't pronounce anything.
I was just like, I know how to pronounce this.
I know this will only make sense to people from the UK, but I'm from Essex. I'm not meant to say things proper.
Nope.
I meant to say things improper. Improper, Gov. I'm supposed to drop off certain words and sentences. Anyway, that's more of a North London thing. But yeah, I'm also descended from North Londoners, so it's even worse in me.
That's all right.
Yes, and just like everyone else on this planet, apparently, Eyeless also reveals he's not fond of Aes Sedai.
Nope.
Who apparently have tried to gentle him in the past.
Yeah, they thought he was a dark friend.
Yeah, they thought he was a dark friend, and they also thought that because of his connection with wolves, that he could wield the one power. So they tried to gentle him. But apparently, he's whatever weird connection it is that means Eyeless can talk to wolves. But yeah, whatever weird connection it is that Eyeless can talk to wolves is nothing to do with the one power, which is a really kind of big moment in this book. Because there are very few things in the whole of the Wheel of Time that sort of happen outside of the one power, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say too much on it because it'll be spoilers. But yeah, I mean,
so don't get too crazy.
No.
Basically, it's just he has the ability to speak to wolves and various other, I guess, powers that go along with it, but he's not anything to do with the Dark Friend. He's not anything to do with the Dark One, Trollocs, nothing like that. He's just something separate from that.
Yeah, there's a few things like that come up in the book that are just separate, but they're very few and far between. And this is the first one. God knows what it is that means he can communicate with wolves. But yeah, the communication thing with the wolves is very strange as well. Eyeless describes it as like he can like almost sense their thoughts, and wolves communicate by thinking things through. So like he describes the fact that one of the wolves is called Dapple, and he's just like, Dapple is how it's how I describe it, but in wolf terms, it's kind of like the flickering of light through leaves while running past a lake in the summertime.
Correct.
That's that one's name. And there's Hopper because he likes to jump, or something along those lines. But yeah, he basically reveals, the Aes Sedai are a bit shitty to him, so he doesn't really like them. But he also
people avoid him. He doesn't go to town very often. He's just a loner.
Yeah, he likes to stay out with the wolves. He has a few friends here and there dotted around, but not many. And he also says that wolves absolutely, beyond anything else, hate dark friends. He says how much they love to just kill Trollocs and Kevins as well. He mentions the fact that sometimes if they catch scent of the Kevin, they'll just chase after them until they've killed it, even if it means they lose half the pack. It drives them wild.
It'd be funny. Yeah. Speaking of Kevins, what if there was just like a little comedy side story of just one Trolloc whose name is actually Kevin, who is terrible at being a Trolloc, can't handle things, is just bumping through the woods and stuff, trying to follow the rest of the horde and everything, and he just sucks.
I like that
would
idea,
honestly make me laugh.
But Kevin's the murderer, wasn't he?
Oh, okay. I thought it was Kevin.
We always call the murderers Kevins.
Yeah. Well, then how about a Mardrell that is named Kevin, who sucks at being Mardrell?
Yeah, I like that idea. We could do that. We can do that as a comedy side thing.
Yeah, and a Trolloc as his like best friend sidekick.
Yeah,
just one. He's too stupid.
Yeah,
and
he can't quite control a whole fist.
Yeah, a fist just gives him one, and it's just a stupid Trolloc.
Yeah, here's Greg the Trolloc. the adventures of Kevin and Greg.
Yes, I like that.
I like that a lot.
Make it happen.
Oh, what? Don't give me more work.
Yep.
I have enough work. I started a new podcast this week.
Well, not you. We gotta.
Yeah.
We can have the other guy do it.
Yeah.
We can have Rob do that.
Yeah, Rob, that's your job, mate. You need to write the story of Kevin and did I say Gary? Kevin and Gary. Greg. Kevin and Greg. I like Kevin and Greg. Yes, so he describes their hatred and stuff, and there's a point where Perrin he's looking around, and he clearly thinks that he can hear the wolves kind of talking if he's looking at.
Yeah.
And he's just like, and I think he says to himself like, God, I really hope I can't act. Oh yeah, no, because Eyeless. Blah, 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 blah. Get my words right. So Egwene says to Eyeless, "Oh my god, it's so interesting that you can talk to wolves in this way. Is that something that you could teach us to do?" And he laughs at her and says, "It's not something that can be taught, but apparently, according to the wolves, he can learn." And he points at Perrin.
Yep.
Dum dum dum. And Perrin's just
like, what?
Yeah, he looks at the finger like it's a sword stabbing through his heart. So there's no way I can learn how to do this. But it wigs him out enough to the fact that he thinks he can almost hear the wolves in his own head. And then he thinks one of the wolves laughs at him, and he looks at the wolves and goes, "Why is Hopper laughing at me?" And then he thinks to himself, "How do I know he's called Hopper?"
Yeah.
Oh, Perrin, things are starting to happen to you, mate. Where are we now?
So they're just talking about stuff about how he has the ability to do that. Perrin doesn't believe that, and he just doesn't want to believe it. I'm trying to think, is anything else?
Yeah, so it's just like basically the wolves are after. He tells Perrin the wolves are after you. They want to track you down, and they want to, kind of pull you into this whole weird world of talking to wolves. And Perrin protests against it. He doesn't want to do it, and then Egwene insists that they're going to keep going to Camelin, and they're not going to mess around with all this wolf business.
Yep.
So Eyeless. That's it. Suddenly the wolves stand, and there's a confrontation between two of the wolves, and one of them dashes off into the night to find and kills Trollocs.
Hunting.
Yes, so I think some Trollocs were nearby, and the wolves have decided to keep them all safe and go off and kill them all. So that implies that there probably was a band of Trollocs still keeping after Perrin and Egwene.
Probably.
Somewhere along the lines. So I think they all then just decide, Eyeless is just going to accompany on for a little bit and sort of try and guide them in the right direction back towards Camelin. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's hold on, I'm thinking.
Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, Eyeless explains that they will just. He explains that they're going to be off. That one of the wolves went off to hunt some Trollocs, and he says he'll help them on their journey. Egwene, she's like, you don't have to worry about it, just give us directions. But he insists that he's going to follow him along with Dapple. Oh yeah, he mentions that Dapple is the leader of the wolf pack. And so actually it's Dapple's decision. And you don't get a fucking say in it.
That's right. Nothing.
But yeah, it's kind of Perrin has these weird feelings as the chapter comes to a close. He feels like he can feel a lot of the like that the one that went off to kill some Trollocs and some other the younger wolves leaving the area. And he wants to pretend that Eyeless is just making it all up and it's just his own thoughts playing tricks on him.
I agree.
Yeah, and then suddenly the last little bit is Perrin almost believes he can taste the foul taste of Trolloc blood in his mouth.
Which is a very unsettling thing for him.
Yes, I would be very unsettled by that. I'd be like, ugh, especially when I'm trying to eat rabbit.
That's right.
Finally got a nice juicy meal, nice bit of rabbit, and then all I can taste is this bloody wolf eating a Trolloc. But yes, Wolfbrother, very interesting chapter. I love Eyeless in these books. He's great when he comes in and out of it. But
he comes in and out a few times, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely comes out in and out, definitely in and out a few times. But yes, this is where we're kind of introduced to Perrin having some strangeness about him. And yeah, apparently, as he's been accused, he can talk and communicate with wolves, which is a very rare ability. So, as in the current age of whatever age the Wheel of Time is setting, I think it's the third age, as called by some.
I think so.
An age yet to come, said by others. Sorry. Terrible opening chapter joke. But yes, only him and Eyeless are the current people who can talk to wolves. So yeah, a new little bit of the adventure for Perrin.
He can talk to wolves.
He can talk to wolves. He doesn't want to.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do that. But he has that ability. He just doesn't know how to use it yet.
Yeah, he'll find out eventually.
And now, the Ta'viren present to you Readings with Rob.
I've never heard of man hunting with wolves, Egwene said.
Her voice was not entirely steady, but the fact that the wolves were just lying there seemed to give her heart. If Elias heard her, he gave no sign. "Wolves remember things differently from the way people do," he said. His strange eyes took on a faraway look, as if they were drifting off on to the flow of the memory himself. "Every wolf remembers the history of all wolves, or at least the shape of it. Like I said, it can't be put into words very well. They remember running down prey side by side with men. But it was so long ago that it's more like the shadow of a shadow than a memory." "That's very interesting," Egwene said, and Elias looked at her sharply. "No, I mean it is." She wet her lips. Could you teach us to talk to them?" Elias snorted again. "It can't be taught. Some can do it, some can't. They say he can." He pointed at Perrin. Perrin looked at Elias's finger as if it were a knife. He really is a madman. The wolves were staring at him again. He shifted uncomfortably. "You say you're going to Camelin," Elias said. "But that still doesn't explain what you're doing out here, days from anywhere." He tossed back his fur-patched cloak and lay down on his side, propped on one elbow and waiting expectantly. Perrin glanced at Egwene. Early on they had concocted a story for when they found people, to explain where they were going without bringing them any trouble, without letting anyone know where they were really from or where they were really going, eventually. Who knew what careless word might reach a Fade's ear? They had worked on it every day, patching it together, honing out the flaws, and they had decided Egwene was the one to tell it. She was better with words than he was, and she claimed she could always tell when he was lying by his face. Egwene began at once smoothly. They were from the north, from Saldea, from farms outside a tiny village. Neither of them had been more than 20 miles from home in their whole lives before this. But they had heard gleeman stories and merchants' tales, and they wanted to see some of the world, Camelin and Ilion, the Sea of Storms, and maybe even the fabled islands of the sea folk. Perrin listened with satisfaction. Not even Tom Merrilin could have made a better tale from the little they knew of the world outside the two rivers, or one better suited for their needs. "From Saldea, eh?" Elias said when she was done. Perrin nodded. "That's right. We thought about seeing Meridon first. I'd surely like to see the king, but the capital city would be the first place our fathers would look." That was his part of it, to make it plain they had never been to Meridon. That way no one would expect them to know anything about the city, just in case they ran into someone who had really been there. It was all a long way from Evansfield and the events of Winter Night. Nobody hearing the tales would have any reason to think of Tarvalon or Aes Sedai. "Quite a story." Elias nodded. "Yes, quite a story. There's a few things wrong with it, but the main thing is Dapple says it's a lump of lies. Every last word."
That was Readings with Rob. If there's a passage in an upcoming chapter you wish to have read on the podcast, simply tweet us at TarVirenPod with your request.
Next week, Rich, we are again switching perspectives, and we are going to Flight Down the RNL. Is the next chapter, chapter 24? Pardon?
I think so. They're going to be on a boat, right?
I'm on a boat, motherfucker, with my flippy flops. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. So, Flight Down the RNL is going to be the next chapter. I think it's back in Rand's perspective. And then I think after that chapter, I can finally use Rob's new outro. Because sent me a new outro like 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I've been waiting to the point where we can finally get past the chapters where all the spoilers are in it. Because I was just like, yeah, you do realize we don't actually find out this happens until like chapter 24. He's like, what? It's one of those things. We all know it happens. No one else knows what happens. No one knows what I'm talking about.
Right.
But I'll mention it next week. Cool. Okay. So I think that's it for this week, Rich.
That is.
I don't have anything else to add.
No, I don't. Same time, same place, people.
Same time, same place next week. So just remember, please rate and review us on any podcasting applications that you've got, because it really helps get the word out. You can follow us on Twitter at TarVRNPod, and yeah, join our Discord. That's a nice growing community as well. And finally, if you really like the show, just send us some love.
Yeah,
I want to feel your love, people.
It's a little weird, but okay. I'll send that to you.
I want to feel their love inside me. That's what I want.
Oh God.
Oh, just like the wolves.
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yes.
I'm gonna go running with Dapple, mate.
Okay.
I can smell Greg.
Oh, Greg.
Oh, Greg. I love you, Greg. Oh, anyway, guys. The wheel weaves as the wheel weaves. See you next week.
Thank you for listening. If you want to continue the conversation, tap into the One Power and contact us on Twitter at TarVRNPod. You can also contact Bill at Matunica and Rich at HaleBlue1569. You can also reach Rob at his website, digging, DIGGIN, diggingdeepsports.com. And, as always, we will see you at the Wine Spring Inn.
Here's to another great podcast, gentlemen. Cheers! Ah, damn it, Bill! Not again! Brad, can you get another round of pints for me and the boys? Yes, again. No, Bill this time. Thank you, Brad. Much appreciated. Now, where were we, men? Actually, I believe it's Rich's turn at the Stones table. What's that you say? No, I don't think old Sen will have that ready.
Hello, friends. This is Troidal Power, host of the Troidal Power Presents the Power Playthroughs podcast with Troidal Power, a podcast where I, your host, Troidal Power, play through games in a powerful way. And I'm inviting you to listen to Troidal Power Presents the Power Playthroughs podcast with Troidal Power, a podcast where I, your host, Troidal Power, play through games in a powerful way. You can find it and a lot of other weird shows at probablywork.com.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, sorry.
Are you good?
Yeah. You went, huh?
This has been a presentation
of the We Can Make This Work
Probably Network.
Follow us on Twitter
@ProbablyWork for more of our questionable content.
Also, we have a website called probablywork.com.